And we are live. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. Welcome once again to Surviving Romance. Here on Surviving Romance, as the title suggests, we're going to do a kind of a bruschetta, however you want to say it. That seems to be a hot debate in this country. But we're going to do a bruschetta recipe that I've kind of come up with on my own. As simple as it gets, about as simple as you're going to get here on the Prince Magnum channel when it comes to cooking. So if you like cooking, you are definitely in for a treat tonight. So first things first, we need ingredients, need good ingredients, okay? Because if there's one thing that you all learn where cars and cooking really connect is you may have one of the coolest cars on the planet, but if you put bad, every mechanic knows, you put bad parts in it, you're going to have a bad car. Well, the same thing goes with food. So leave the bunny bread out of this one. Go pick yourself up some real Italian loaf bread for this, okay? You can actually pick this stuff up at Walmart. Depending on where you live, it might change in price. We got ours for $1, pretty reasonable. You're gonna need some black pepper. This black pepper you can get from Dollar Tree for $1, freshly ground, okay? It's so much better than the stuff that's already grated up, it's already ground up and in a, don't do that to yourself. About 4 cloves of garlic minced, hacked up pretty fine. A can of petite diced tomatoes, or if you want to cut up your own, be my guest. I didn't feel like it. Canned is just fine in this case. 3 tablespoons of butter and freshly grated Asiago cheese. You can use Parmesan, but do me a favor, not from the can. The little plastic can. Don't do that, all right? Next, you're gonna need a basting brush. I like this one, it's silicone and it's floppy, but whatever type of basting brush you like. You're gonna need a pan like such. If it's a non-stick, please use plastic or silicone. Do not use metal on it. Scuff it up beyond belief. And you're going to need some sort of a skillet or something like that. Unless you want to do this under the broiler, that's all up to you. We're not going to use the broiler for this. And of course, because we are using aluminum, we're going to leave the cast iron over here for a change. Plastic spatula. Pretty sweet. And then you're going to need a couple of plates, depending on how much. Okay? So now that we have pretty well figured out what we're going to do as far as our gear, let's get underway. Now, this is one of my smaller burners. I say burners, but it's a POS. Anyhow, what we're going to do is we're going to turn this up, start letting it get warm. Heat resistant spatula. You're going to see pretty soon how quickly this goes. The reason why so much butter is because that's a lot of bread. And plan on making as much as we feel like, okay? And what's nice about what we've already done with the butter, left it out, let it soften up. So the trip to, I guess you could say, a buttery garlic sauce will be short, okay? If you're one of these people, vegetarian or one of those vegans, or you're trying to watch your calories, you can change this out for, say, like regular olive oil. Again, you're going to hear me repeat this over and over and over again till y'all get it right. I'm joking. You're going to hear me say, when it comes to when adding heat, leave the extra virgin out of the picture, okay? The reason being is when you start applying heat, extra virgin olive oil is very sensitive stuff. It breaks down very easily, and the fruity flavors that you were after, it goes away, and it's replaced by really nasty flavors because extra virgin olive oil has a low smoke point. So we are not going to do that. Regular olive oil is just fine. I've never tried this with like grapeseed oil. If that works out for you, and anybody's ever tried that, doing it with a kind of like a garlic sauce, tell me about it, okay? But because this is garlic, we're going to have to add heat. And butter has a little bit better of a smoke point than, say, um, say extra virgin olive oil. So 3 tablespoons goes into the pan. Much than not enough. Okay? I have this nasty habit of cooking for an army. All right. Again, regular cold pressed olive oil. You know, one of those oils that if you're worried about your heart and all that, I mean, a little bit of butter, it ain't gonna kill you. But if you are worried about it, we are going to turn down the heat to keep it from burning, because that's not our objective. Turn down lower the mat heat. Okay. Temperature management, folks. You could melt this in a microwave, but why? All right. See how that's turned down to a nice. There you go. And now that it's all melted down, introduce garlic. You can set that aside for now. Won't need that anymore. Okay. And we're just gonna turn up the heat just a little bit. The objective is to basically cook the butter and the garlic together till it makes a nice, kind of almost like a topping for the, for the Italian bread. And you'll see all that just shortly. Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and leave it like that for just a few minutes. And we're going to start prepping our bread. Now, you could do this with French bread. Walmart has a French bread. Plain would be preferable in this case, but sometimes Walmart doesn't always have the plain. They've got the other stuff laying there. So just get what you can get, you know, French or Italian. We kind of like the Italian a little bit more here, especially for like grilled cheese. Sometimes the French is nice, but typically I go directly towards the Italian. I just like the texture of it more. Would this be better with, say, like homemade bread? Hey, dang it, we're not there yet. We're getting there. We're getting there. Okay. And there's still some stuff that I'm learning too, you know. Okay, and the fun part, breaking it. They really make this stuff hard to get into. You know what? Tell you how we're going to do this. Excuse me, dear. If you all haven't figured out by now, my lovely wife is operating the camera. For some odd reason, it just seems like it goes well. Now, honey, if anyone leaves a question on there at any point, would you be kind enough to let me know? Of course, read it back. Oh, yes, yes. And again, Italian loaf bread is very popular in this home. It goes very fast. All right, we're going to start off with a couple pieces right here. And by now, you guys can already start smelling the garlic butter. Oh, I'm sorry. That was pretty awful, wasn't it? I apologize. You guys can't smell that. But we can, and I can tell you it smells darn tasty. All right. First things first. All right. We're going to go ahead and start getting our aluminum skillet. By the way, thank you very much. My father-in-law bought this and several other pots for us. Very nice. Now, while we're on the subject, while this is heating up to a nice temperature, you know, you hear me constantly saying that that cars and cooking go together. This is going to be in a more extensive episode, but if you will, one of the reasons why I love the old cast iron engines so much is it's dense. It can handle a lot of heat. When it comes to cooking, you can throw this on the cooktop, underneath the underneath, in the oven, under the broiler, which is just an upside down grill. Shoot, you can actually set this on top of a charcoal grill. That's why even some of the old cast iron Dutch ovens, you can even bury them, put really hot coals on top of them. Shoot, you can even these cast iron can actually withstand up to, I believe, just a little over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. For our metric friends, you can do the conversion yourself. But that's a lot of heat, okay? Now, granted, a car engine's not going to be able to withstand that much. The pistons are going to wear down. They're going to wear down and melt long before that 2,000 degrees, but it will withstand an awful lot of heat. Aluminum, not so dense. Aluminum engines don't like gaskets, so. Thought I might throw that little fun fact in there while we're waiting for this to heat up. That's getting there.
I mean, you literally just knocked on it, so it must not be that hot.
Actually, working in the restaurant industry, you burn yourself a lot. You don't tend to feel it very easily.
It's not necessarily a good thing, love.
All right, we're gonna turn this up a little bit. Again, our burners suck.
Yeah, well,
But anyhow, so what we're gonna do here in just a moment is we're going to actually, here's how I'm gonna do it. Yeah, you can smell that really nicely. I'm sorry, no, you can't. Anyhow, now the basting brush, this is where it comes in now. Okay, just put it on one side for now. Okay, just like that.
Silicone brushes are good for this because the silicone won't, react to the heat like a horsehair brush would.
That's correct. Just like that. And the garlic you can use for something else if you want it. But we'll get to that shortly. Ah, yes, now you can start feeling that heat a little bit better. Now again, temperature management, folks. I don't need to remind you all that. This is high heat. And high heat, well. And if we need more butter, we'll go get more butter. That's what we got the fridge for. There we go. It's like painting. It's like painting. Only it tastes good. All right, let's get this on there. Now, again, this is during a time when you all could start asking questions, so feel free to. Don't be afraid to ask. Has anyone bothered to pop on?
We do have one person. Hi, person. Someone put a comment but retracted it, so we have no comments yet.
Okay.
Bread.
Mm-hmm. All right, running low on butter. So,
Mary Vargo says hi.
Well, hello, Miss Mary. Glad you could join us today. I'm pretty sure you're, yeah. Well, we'll get you caught up to speed. Basically, we're making a very simple bruschetta, and you can serve it at parties or just between you and your other half. Smells good already. Looks like I'm going to need a little bit more butter after all. Yeah. It's not a big deal, but unless you're like me, please do me a favor. If you're going to use butter, please keep it in the fridge until it's absolutely necessary, because this stuff has I guess you could say, some different, well, it has fat refrigerated. And I've even heard of some that go so far as to, they will actually go so far as freezing it until they're ready. So, we like stick butter here, simply because it's so much easier to dose out. Again, this garlic will do its job just fine. We'll have to apply just a little bit of heat. Not a big deal. It'll melt down on its own. Give that a few moments. Actually, there's more than enough there for me to continue. There we go. Now, that's warm. Now, the spatula is definitely recommended, but also, if you, again, work in the restaurant industry, you could do it like this. Please don't hurt yourselves if you try it like that.
It me says, hell yeah.
There you go. Both sides buttered. Now, again, because of the electric cooktop, you'll note right away, these pretty well went on at almost identical times. And one of the things that you'll notice is hot spots. Okay? Another reason is because of the aluminum pan. They're very, again, when you start getting aluminum a little hot, the warp, and in cooking, that's just as bad, okay, as, say, an aluminum engine overheating. Again, throwing those references in there for those, for some of the people who also enjoy do-it-yourself budget hot rodding, and they decided to go ahead and jump on here and take in, maybe take in something else, so they'll get their car fixed too.
It me says bruschetta is bomb.
Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. Now, we're not going to leave them on here because the heat is very high. And right there. That's what I'm looking for. Now, because normally I wear corrective vision glasses, I'm having to do this the best I can. That's also one of the reasons why the lighting is so doggone bright right now. Let's go ahead and make this a happening dish. All right, first things first. All right, freshly ground black pepper. Do this directly on it. Now, some of you might be asking the question, Prince Magnum, why didn't you do that with the garlic butter? Because this stuff burns very easy. So don't do that to yourself, okay? It grinds the canned tomatoes that have been drained and rinsed thoroughly. And just
Perhaps you can find some sunglasses which are, oh wait, hold on, reflective on the front, but have lenses that are not so dark so you can see out easily. But we can't see in.
Working on that. Actually, I used to have some actual prescription sunglasses, but that is a long story what happened to them. Okay, so we're going to apply our tomatoes. And then once the tomatoes are on, some freshly grated Asiago cheese.
I'm going to turn off your garlic butter.
Okay, thank you, dear. And again, when I say freshly grated, I mean just that. There we go. That one's ready. Let's go ahead and make some more.
Galaxy, get out of the way.
Now,
I know, I'm sorry, baby.
it's starting to, I can tell by the feeling on my right arm that he is a little high. So we're gonna just turn it down a little bit. I won't hardly feel it with this arm because of the stroke. So believe it or not, I think I do pretty good otherwise. And since it's already cooking on this side, I'm gonna go ahead and apply more garlic butter. It smells terrific, doesn't it?
What? You're not the star here. Not this time.
Little Galaxy thinks she's going to be getting in the shot, I guess. Well, we can get her in, though. That is our little black cat, Galaxy.
See? Now you're a star.
There we go. And let's come over here and get some more Italian loaf bread. Now again, you can do this with French bread if you like. You know, that's one of the nice things about, you know, living here in the United States is having, you know, we take some of the best things in the world, we make it our own. There we go. Looks great, doesn't it? You could do this in a toaster, turning it on its side. I've seen a lot of people do stuff like that. I don't think so. I don't think it'll work. Just my opinion.
Mary says, sounds like my kitty. Always got to be in the middle. We step on her often. P.S. Your black kitty is beautiful. Thank you. I'm glad you like my little Galaxy.
Somewhere around here is our big male cat, Taver, who has been in numerous videos. He just doesn't get in the shots like he used to. Don't know why. He's just kind of antisocial like that from time to time. However, I will be the first to tell anybody if you were to ever to break into...
We get Taver because he's not here. Hi, Galaxy. Say meow. He's so cute. There you go.
All righty. Now...
It me says, aw, BB.
All righty. Now...
They all love Galaxy.
Of course. We would.
That makes me happy.
All right. So what we're going to do, again, is lay out. You can do this as you can keep going as long as you want to. That is up to you. I think we are going to stop very soon. And after this next run, we'll go ahead and stop, and we'll get ready to close it down. All righty. Again, forgot what I was working on. Black pepper.
Mary says, my heart melts for black kitties, and the food looks good too.
Well, the real test is always, does Princess Faye like it?
I'm a picky eater.
She is very picky, very picky. Now again, you could do this with fresh tomatoes. That is completely and totally up to you. But I honestly, I mean, most of us don't have that time. And canned is always okay to me, you know. To me, it's okay. When is canned foods not okay? When you start getting into like your soup broths and things like that. A lot of times the salt content really gets high, and if you have to do a reduction, it starts tasting like a salt lick. So don't do that. And on the other hand, when you start getting into prepackaged foods, and that can get dangerous too, because again, salt content goes high. With say stuff like our bruschetta, the tomatoes in this particular case, it's not so dangerous. And many of you long-term fans of the Prince Magnum channel have heard me say this time and time again. Good cooks don't salt food to make them taste salty. They salt food to make them taste better, to enhance the flavors that are there. Has something to do with ionic properties that even leave science types scratching their heads still. So, because of this, um, we focus on trying to salt food just enough to improve the flavor. Um, so, if you're eating a lot of salty foods, just kind of a heads up, eating a lot of canned foods that are pre-packaged, like home, Princess pays at work. I kind of like that stuff. For my own health, I gotta quit eating all that stuff. Might have to start eating a little bit healthier than that. So, homemade is always better. But canned vegetables is okay, you know, because you're going to be cooking it anyways. Alrighty, that takes care of that. I believe we should just about be ready. There we go. Again. I actually felt that in my left hand that time. And again, you can start you got a great garlic smell and things like that. Now imagine, and the purpose of surviving romance is to suit two purposes. Number one, it is a dedication to my wife, to show the world how much I love my wife. She has to deal with ups and downs, if you will. Um, and sometimes we just don't have the money for medication. So he has an entire series dedicated to her to show her, to remind her that her husband still loves her. And the other purpose for surviving romance is, I know when I got married, when we first got married, there was no survival guide like this. Now today, people who, husbands that truly love their wives now have a survival guide to kind of help them keep the marriage alive and well. And I don't know any wife that would complain about having good food waiting for her after a long day at work.
Excuse me. It me asks medication, question mark.
Depression, my friend.
Not typically something I advertise, but
Doesn't hurt to be open about it.
no, I suppose not.
A lot of people in the world that suffer.
Hmm.
All righty.
Don't worry about it, dude. It's all good.
All righty. We won't be needing this anymore, so we're going to get this out of the way. And again, now notice, you're not seeing a whole lot of ingredients on here. Most Italians will tell you, keep it simple, okay?
I'm glad you made so much.
Huh?
I'm glad you made a lot.
Well,
I'm super hungry.
I figured you were. I had worst case scenario. I've got plenty more.
Thank you, Mary.
Keep cooking like this, I'm going to have to really do that grilled tuna episode.
What made you think you had a choice?
I don't know what I was thinking there.
I don't know either.
Alrighty, and again, notice I'm not piling this high, okay? That's not the objective, okay? Let's not, it may be Italian, but let's not turn it into a little mini pizza, you know?
I mean...
Pizza is good. I like pizza, but that is not the objective here. As a matter of fact, some people would even just put on more garlic sauce or garlic butter and the black pepper and would park it right next to a plate of spaghetti. You know, true Italian bread. There we go. And the last tomatoes. I had that figured out about right, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Getting pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, while we're on that subject, you'll see me from time to time not doing much in the way of measuring. When you see me doing, you do this long enough, and before you know it, you're like, well, that looks right, you know. And usually you are right. You get used to. So if you ever wonder why the professionals, because I'm self-taught for the most part, why the professionals don't do much in the way of measuring, well, that's because they're so used to it. They're used to, you know, seeing what it looks like. And there we go. The last thing. Had that figured out pretty doggone close. Now again, you could do this for a party, or you could do this for the whole family, or do this just for a dinner for two.
Or for
Again,
yourself if you're greedy.
yeah, you agree, the SOB. Is there anything else you could put on this? Honestly, again, I wouldn't push it much more than this, but if you just had to have something else, I would do, say, like parsley.
Mary says, do you ever broil it to melt or heat up the cheese?
You could, you could. Um, I don't see why you couldn't, but honestly, I mean, kind of just like this. I mean, this is fine, but we could do that. And what I
It's your
would,
taste, really.
it's kind of up to you. Again, the one thing that I would suggest, if you're trying to keep it as close to authentic as possible, is keep the ingredients list short. Now, if you were going to do this, what I would suggest, since we're on that subject, is get yourself some of these little baking racks and lay this out on a sheet pan. No. On like a cookie sheet, or like that, and just lay your pieces up there. Put it under the broiler on high. Watch it close because you've already toasted the bread to the state, so it wouldn't take long for toast to turn to
Mush.
no, burned.
Oh.
Okay, so
Mush
golden
happens
brown
too.
delicious or kind of a nice dark brown can turn black, which sometimes isn't that bad, but that's not what we're going for in this particular case. So just watch it close. But have I ever done that? Well, I've used the broiler several times, even before we had a toaster, to make just like regular garlic bread, and always turns out really nice. I enjoy it. Does that answer your question? Yeah, that's the part I hate. I love live streams, but that's the part that I always hate. Again, you can go over to Dollar Tree and get this particular, one of these little pepper grinders. The grinder itself is disposable. And one of the reasons why I will tell you not to buy the pre-ground stuff that comes in the little tin or the little already inside of a shaker is because when you have fresh ground black pepper, you will notice right away that the aroma is stronger and it's more peppery, I guess is a good way of putting it. And it hits you really hard, so it takes a lot less to do the same job as the pre-ground stuff. And I love fresh ground black pepper, definitely recommend it. And again, you can get that over at Dollar Tree for like next to nothing. All right.
Mary says Country Mart in Bonn has $1 refillable grinders.
That's even better. And of course, that saves on landfill. Thank you for that little tip. Appreciate that. All righty. Which plate are you going after, dear?
I'll let you guess.
The one that's loaded. And again, we'll get a nice close up of that. Every time I do a live stream like this, where food is involved, and people see what I Prince Magnum can do with simple ingredients and things like that, it never fails. Someone always says, "I'm coming over for dinner." That'd be a heck of a thing, wouldn't it? All right, and right there. See, it makes a difference. There's actually right there is my glasses. So again, the butter goes back into the fridge. We will use this for something else. what would I suggest for a nice drink next to it? Hey, I'm a simple guy. Soda's just fine. But if you're going to do Italian, obviously a red wine would always be, a great suggestion. Um, Unless you're like me and you can't have alcohol. But definitely a nice red wine in the inexpensive category, but still good enough to taste. So, always a plus for those that can enjoy it. I can't. We don't want to give up nearly 12 and a half years of sobriety in AA. So, any other questions?
I have one. Can I eat?
Yes. All righty. Hang on a second here. Turn this around and what? All right, I can actually, bam, check that out. All right, I can go a little bit longer. Princess Faye is gonna, here in a little bit, just yell out whether or not she likes it. We're gonna go off into the office, and actually, I'm gonna grab my plate, and I'm gonna see if I like it or not. I'm allowed to do that, right? All right, and I just don't have enough hands some days. Oh, thank you very much. Actually, on my birthday, August the 7th, I'll also be celebrating the same exact day, 12 and a half years to the day. My sober date is February 7th, 2006. Did I plan for that to happen? Not at all. It just kind of worked out like that, where I got, that was the day that it just kind of fell on, if you will. I got sober kind of all at once on that day, and that's a funny story. I actually talked about that in a live stream not too terribly long ago. But yes, sobriety is very important to me. AA has been good to me, which this past December I stepped out of AA service work for the first time in almost like 5 years, and that got brutal. All right. So far, let's see. Do we have any questions? Like I said, I'm going to give this a try myself, see if I like it. Princess Faye will probably yell out here just shortly. You all will get to hear it, whether or not she likes it. By the way, this is the first time I've ever done this recipe on camera. Actually, it's the first time I've ever done it like this. Usually it's not quite so doggone elaborate, but I thought it would be kind of cool that you all can actually see me kind of experiment right here, live and uncut, all that crazy stuff, I know wow. All right, there we go. Some days you're the bowling ball and some days you're the pin, right? All right, now I know y'all wondering if I'm going to even like this too. Oh, camera's trying to... We're going to try this out. There's the first crunch from the other room. All right. Now again, if you're a long-time subscriber to the Prince Magnum channel, better known as, if you're a subscriber to the Prince Magnum channel, you are a member of the Maverick Nation. And being, that there's members of, if you're a long-time member of the Maverick Nation, it should be no surprise that there's cooking on here and things like that. This first time around, definitely spend some time looking at the cooking episodes. I think a lot of people enjoy that. And eventually we're gonna do another rice episode. We're looking at doing actually a couple of different ones. We're gonna do a brown rice episode. Obviously, we're gonna have to do one with regular medium grain rices. And if I'm feeling up to it, I might actually do a sushi episode. But anyhow, all right, let's see how the... Hang on a second. Hey, honey, what's the verdict? Okay, she said it was good with a very big mouthful of food. All right, let's see what I think.
Don't interrupt me. I'm eating.
Yes, dear. Oh, that did turn out nice. Very happy with that. That works. Who knows what else we'll do on the channel? I know someone asked for. I was talking about grilling tuna steaks, and I know. Well, Princess Bay already said that we're going to do that. Might even grill some salmon. Yes, you can grill. I know here in the Midwest we oftentimes hear grilled fish. Why would you do that? Why not? It's good. It's good. So that's definitely some things that we're going to look at doing here on surviving romance. Real quick, does anyone have any suggestions of something that and keep it simple? Let's not break the bank here, but is there anything that's anyone out there would like to see me do as far as an episode for surviving romance? And doesn't have to be just cooking. We could definitely do one where we might be uh, hmm? How to write a poem. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a half bad writer, but I've kind of lost my touch at poetry. Um, we might try that on camera. We might try that. Believe it or not, amazingly enough, when it comes to surviving romance, my taking y'all with me here. My female audience loves cooking. Where the heck did I leave that lighter? Don't look at the mess. um, I'm stealing your lighter. She don't care right now. She's too busy eating. um, my female audience absolutely loves the cooking episodes. Now, I'm going to confess there has been some of the recorded episodes where, believe it or not, we managed to make it work, but not always. Here at Prince Magnum headquarters, here at HQ, every now and again, things don't always go according to plan. And in some of those videos, we made it work, and it's just one of those things. When we do it live, one of the things I love about it is you all have to, you all get to see me try to fix that mistake, um, and still make it work and taste good and things like that. So that's one of the things I absolutely love about doing live streams and doing the cooking episodes. And hopefully it gives you all some ideas for whatever you're going to have for dinner that evening. Um, let's see. I know definitely we're going to do a couple different rice episodes, and we're gonna do some grilled fish. Actually, we're working up to doing several grilled episodes because we got this really cute little, charcoal grill, and it's so much fun to do. And I'm sorry, any guy that does not know how to operate a charcoal grill, better check his DNA. I mean, guys, fire, and food just kind of go hand in hand. It's just one of them things. Um, Actually, most guys that say that they can't cook can usually still grill. Um, while we're on that subject, when we talk about grilling foods, I know some of you are going to say, are you going to do a barbecue episode? And no, we will not be doing a barbecue episode. because that is kind of a dangerous word when you get closer to, say, somewhere like Texas. Um, what is actual barbecue down there is not what we think of up here. Hi, Galaxy. You know she doesn't like me held. And she doesn't like my cigar smoke.
No.
You couldn't have scripted that if you tried. But anyhow, um, evidently barbecue is actually totally. It has to do with like long, uh, you know, low heat smoking processes with like huge cuts of meat, like with entire pork butts, which doesn't actually come from the butt. It's like the shoulder. Um, that's just one of those, I think, butcher's jokes. But, somewhere like that. Um, so, um, and there's like a rub that goes on it and things like that. So when you bring it into context, like up this way, um, what we consider barbecue up here is not barbecue. So to try to keep this, in the area of what it's, I know what I'm trying to say. Basically, keeping the Prince Magnum channel culturally friendly. What we would consider up here as barbecue will be actually grilling. And I've already practiced a type of hamburger you all will absolutely love to try out for yourselves. Very easy, as easy as falling off a log. And I've gotten really good at cooking in the last 3 years. Um, so thanks to my female audience, they keep me pumping out these really awesome cooking episodes. Anything else that y'all are interested in seeing for Surviving Romance? Obviously, writing is always fun. How was it?
It was good.
Okay. I take it it's all gone.
All but one. Hey, you stole my lighter.
I told you I would. Let's see. I know. Oh, alrighty. You guys want to see that one?
Sorry, YouTube's not X-rated.
I think we can work with some parameters here. I will. I know exactly what to do, and I'll tell you what. We'll do that in a live stream. Give me about a week from Monday. We'll keep this politically correct. What we will do is a week from this Monday, we'll look at picking up all of the important supplies, and I'll walk you through all of that, including even as something I know. I know one episode that I want to do is how to make your own centerpieces, or at least give you guys some ideas for making centerpieces when a husband goes to make a dinner for two. Because I'm sorry, when you go out to some of these real ritzy restaurants, you can really break the bank. And I don't know about the rest of you. I don't have cash like that to just throw around. It is nice to go out and do that sort of stuff. Go to, say, like a nice steakhouse or something like that. But I definitely want to show you all how to do like a dinner for two, candlelit, all that good stuff. And show show the husbands really how to do that. And of course, obviously, there's going to be some pampering involved as far as that goes. But I think there should also be one how to shop for, stuff like how to shop for oils to do like massage therapy and things like that. Shopping for candles, all that stuff. We'll look into that. That's a great idea, Mary. I appreciate that one. which will give me an opportunity to go over and see our friends at Sweet Leaf Emporium. Um, they have a lot. They have a lot of natural stuff in there, and the people that own and run that shop have really kind of you know kind of built that place up quite a bit since we talked about them last, and that's definitely something that we're going to do. Is we'll go, I'll go and pick up a bunch of stuff from there, and including maybe some bath stuff. Who knows? Who knows? Not bath salts. We don't want anyone nibbling anyone's head off. So that's a great idea. Great idea. You're giving me all sorts of great ideas. Well, shoot, you guys give me, shoot, that'll cover surviving romance for the next couple of months, actually. Again, for the record, this is really, again, supposed to be the survival guide for husbands, even boyfriends, fiancés, and something as simple as what we did today. Great when the in-laws come over and kind of a last minute thing. Most definitely, because I don't know about I don't know about it. I've got 3 daughters total, 5 children altogether, but I've got 3 daughters. That prospect husband better be impressing the hell out of me if he's going to get with my kids. Okay, that's just the way it is. That's just how it is. I think we've done a total of 3 pasta episodes. We'll probably do another. We've done biscuits and gravy live, which was fun. Let's see. I know, I'm not sure when it's going to be, but Princess Faye is putting together kind of like a get together with some. Sorry about that. Princess Faye is going to be getting together with some friends, having them come in, and they're going to do like a movie marathon. And I'm not so much interested in the movie marathon so much. What I am interested in is basically she'll be hosting her little get together. I'll be handling the food. So I'll be making up, obviously, like different appetizers and things like that. Probably some different style grilled cheeses, and show how you can kind of play around with something so simple and make something so simple a little bit more elaborate. Who knows what we'll be doing? I know we're going to be making a lot of stuff, and we're going to definitely probably do a very long-winded live stream, including making some bacon-flavored popcorn. Naturally, some natural flavored. For those who have kept up with the Prince Magnum channel for quite a while, if you're true members of the Maverick Nation, you know that we actually keep bacon drippings, and I'll show you how to incorporate that and make bacon-flavored popcorn, which will be fun. I got a funny feeling that I don't know. I'll let y'all know when this is going to be. If you follow me on Facebook, I usually quickly post on Facebook, and I try to make the announcements here on the channel during live streams, especially during live streams. I'm not up to where I can kind of leave those texted posts yet, but during live streams, I tell when I'm going to try to do something. And for Surviving Romance, love you too, brother. Big Bad Bird of Bert TV just poked in to tell me that he loves me and everything. And Bird of Bert TV he'll tell you all the time. He's had my cooking before, and he will tell you it's really good. I know that we need to also do some vinaigrette episodes for our salad lovers. And I know that I've also threatened to do a homemade lemonade that will just blow your mind. And at the same time, we may even do an iced tea episode. And I know some of you are sitting there going, how in the world can iced tea be made so simple? How can iced tea be made better than, just tea, water, and sugar? Well, you all will see that when we do it, because how some of us do iced tea is not a really good way. And I'll briefly explain. You got cold tea, unsweetened, sitting there, and you dump the sugar in, and it all goes to the bottom. It's hard to get mixed in. I'm going to show you all a way to make it better with even a little bit less sugar. And, well, I'll leave all that to a big, big surprise, okay? We might even do, I know that we're also working up to doing a pickling episode, homemade pickles, homemade refrigerator pickles. And definitely that'll be something that, it'll be a lot of fun, if there's one thing that you all will definitely learn more and more if you're a fairly new member of the Maverick Nation, is I love homemade. Homemade is healthier, okay, usually. Um, my big gripe is when you pick up some of your prepackaged foods. If you can read ingredients on there that looks like it belongs on the side of a paint can, or in a laboratory experiment, well, you got a problem. We want to avoid that as much as possible. We want to try to keep the food as healthy as possible. Okay, so I think we're getting ready to wrap this up because I really want to get to eating, and trying it out on camera is one thing, but I want to get to eating, and that can look a little messy. So, real quick, the Prince Magnum channel will be announcing the various car shows that we'll be at very soon, both with Project Spirit, definitely Project Spirit. I'm not sure about Project Lena. It kind of depends on what Princess Faye's schedule looks like, and finances and things like that. Also, we're looking at let's see, May next. Oh, there's a big talk about all that, and we'll. Uh, I don't want to get involved. All I could say is that, whatever. That's something you'll have to talk to him about. Okay. Mm. Which he just popped on long enough to give me a like and popped off. Mm. Not literally, popped off, but he exited the live stream. He just came on long enough. Um, let's see. So, uh, be see again next week Friday. I will be at Laz's Bar and Grill. I'm not sure if Princess Faye will be in attendance. If she is in attendance, I will most likely try to do a song serenading her on stage. Um, again, I enjoy doing that stuff. Now, if you go back through some of the backlog stuff here on the Prince Magnum channel, you will actually see those videos. There's a bunch of videos where I actually have my wife. Well, you'll note that there's a lot of different versions of me singing the Neil Diamond song "Hello Again," which most people probably wouldn't be surprised at all to know this, but that version of "Hello," that song by Neil Diamond, "Hello Again," on our wedding night, our actual wedding reception, we did at a place called the Sandbar up in Washington, Missouri. And it was a karaoke night. So I actually sang our wedding song, and that was our wedding song, "Hello Again" by Neil Diamond. So, as a continuation to keep reminding my wife that I still love her and that sort of thing. So if y'all get a chance, go back through some of that stuff. As a matter of fact, both karaoke contests that the Prince Magnum channel was involved in at Laz's Bar and Grill, We actually, it kind of started off where I went up there and I sang the song to my wife, but it was after yeah. It's one of those things. I don't mind doing it. I don't mind doing it. Hey, I'm still the husband that opens the car door for his wife, okay? I got no problem doing that. And if she's feeling low, I'll make a big production out of it. The bigger production, a real big production. For the record, if we're having a dispute, say we're bickering, because that does happen, that's part of being married, you can always tell because Princess Faye will not let me open the car door for her. um, for those who think that's funny. um, but anyhow, if she's able to be at Laz's Bar and Grill, and I have a song coming up, most likely I will try to get on stage and drag her up there, put my arm around her, all that sweet stuff. Um, but yes, there's versions of that already on the Prince Magnum channel. So you guys, if you're interested in that sort of thing, definitely check those videos out. Especially the easiest way to spot the more recent ones is it'll say Off the Chain and Surviving Romance. Real easy to spot. Um, so definitely check those out if some of my favorite videos those are some of my favorite videos that have been done here on the channel. Let's see. So this next week, Friday, expect us at Lazarus Bar and Grill. And if you're there and you want to get pictures with me, you are more than welcome. Come up, nab me by the shirt, whatever. Say, hey, man. Um, I know this last time I also did a couple songs that I wasn't, that I was hadn't, I did a song that I had never done before. And from what I'm told, the audio for the camera is okay, but it's much better live. So if you're able to be there or be square sort of thing. Okay. If you're able to be there. If you can't be there, you're there in spirit. Well, not in my car, but you get the idea. Let's see. Um, that pretty well covers that. I know when I get paid in a couple weeks that we're also going to try to send off for those spindles. And I don't know if we're going to do that as a live stream, changing out some of the parts for Project Spirit for the front disc brake conversion, but that's definitely, we're going to try to video some of that, and it may end up being where it's just short clips loaded to the channel, or we may just do one big long-winded video actually recorded, edited, that it just kind of depends on what's going to be the easiest. All right. So if anybody else has got any awesome questions for me, if not, we're going to go ahead and start ending it as usual. Real quick, if you have any money to donate for the Prince Magnum channel, check out the Patreon account. Our goal is to hit $1,000 so we can do some suspension upgrades, because we are going to be looking at rebuilding her engine before too terribly long. We're going to go ahead and try to squeeze out to 300,000, and I believe that the old girl will be able to do it. Be sure to check me out on Twitter. Check me out on Facebook. You can actually easily, if you go to Princess Faye's, she'll just have Faye Rue as her profile. You can actually get to her, get to me through her, or you could do it through Bert TV as well. Just depends on what you feel comfortable with. And you'll get to know me on a more personal level. You'll actually even get to know me by my real name. Also, while I'm also on the subject, the Patreon account, whoever is able to donate the most between now and August the 7th will actually get a nice little care package from me. There's a pocket-sized AA Big Book for whoever, whether it's you or someone you know who needs it, whatever, or just keep it for yourself, have it on the shelf as a conversation piece. I will be signing that, and we will be doing that very soon on the channel. Also, the mini movie, I've got to finish that up soon, and a special copy of the mini movie will be Oh, you like the live streams? Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the live stream. Especially the more people that come on and watch during the stream and ask the questions, I always appreciate that even more. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. So definitely, if you have the money to donate, hey. If you don't, hey, I understand. Well, short of cash. Also, um, all right, that pretty well covers all the usual social media outlets to keep track of what I'm up to. As usual, as I get ready to end this, real quick for all of you out there, get out there and work on a project, okay? I don't care what it is, just do something with yourself, okay? Idle hands and a creative mind, they make horrible, horrible bedfellows. Also, if you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. Do something special for them today, okay? That's really, I mean, husbands, if she's worth it, you'll do it, okay? And as always, for every last one of you out there, if no one out there has told you that they love you, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.